Hello, everyone, and our MMH Press community. I am delighted to be joined today with Trevor Verner, who is based over in Northern Ireland and is one of our amazing authors. He wrote the book, The Shadow on My Shoulder. Welcome, Trevor.
Thank you, Karen. It's exciting. It's nice to be here and finally get talking to you again.
Yes, it's been a journey, hasn't it? But you launched your book about 2 weeks ago in Enniskillen. It was your dream, wasn't it?
It was more than I expected, and it's just hard to believe the journey is. It's a lifetime story in my head, and then obviously to get to the stage I'm at now, it's surreal. It's unbelievable. It really is.
Yeah, it's an amazing book. You've really shared your story in a really awesome way. I love the cover and I love the story and your journey to writing it because not everyone in your family is an author, are they?
No, no. I think I've surprised them because I'm not a big book reader.
Yeah.
Um, and especially with the poems in the book, it actually has knocked them for a six.
Yeah, yeah. See, it's amazing when you tap into that creative and when you have a story to share and a passion to share it, what actually happens and comes to the forefront is quite spectacular, isn't it? You end up surprising yourself, don't you?
You do. I mean, my whole career really has been art and art therapy, and I feel that if I hadn't went into art therapy, the story wouldn't have probably come out of my head. Emma has been your sister's been a fantastic ambassador for me, and really the one that it has given me the strength to go forward. And I've so much to thank Emma for, because I feel that if I hadn't went into that industry with mental health, it still would be there, Karen. I just feel it's the next
Yeah,
step on in my life to carry on with mental health.
yeah. Did you know that the call to write your story is one of the final stages of healing?
Well, it's with me with the book and being parts of it sad and that, and been carrying it in my head for so long. And now that I've written it, I'm at peace.
Yeah,
And it's amazing. It's took this length of time, 33 years, 34 years, to find that peace, but a happy peace, because I know the book obviously is going to do some good. I mean, I've got a lot of people have actually used my telephone number and sent me messages, men in particular, who have said that it's great to see somebody standing up for men's mental health, and that has been good. It's not about trying to get praise. It's just I feel that my journey is still going on, but I felt doors open for reasons and doors closed for reasons, and I feel that all these things linked through my life has led me to this, and I just feel
yeah.
that it's fantastic.
Yeah, you are absolutely an advocate for it because, as women, me and Emma, we share stories all the time. It's easier for us, but for you to stand up and share your story, and it is such a very personal but
Mhm.
very courageous story to share, but so impactful, Trevor. And the thing is that you then give men permission to share their story and show that when you do have the courage to do it, it can pave the way for others, but also really, like, I'm sure you're getting so much feedback for your book.
I am. I mean, I've done two talks, and it's it, it's not like you're learning something off pat. It's from the heart, and every time I do it, there's certain emotions hit you, and it's natural. It's always going to be there, and I think that's what makes it so powerful when you talk about your book. It's not put on. It's not made up. It's from the heart, and people can resonate that, and they actually. I mean, two people have actually stood up and said, because this guy's bared his soul here today, I want to let you know what happened to me. So it's worked
Yeah.
already. It's just
Wow.
amazing.
And many people say if my book impacts one person profoundly, well, my job is done. And there you are on two talks, and that this has happened. Like that's huge, and now that you're now obviously a speaker as well as an author, it's a really powerful thing, isn't it? To share your book. Your book will go on a journey and bring your story on a journey as well.
It is because I mean I've only got the book a few weeks and I can't believe the impact already. And I do feel that next year now, obviously before Christmas, take a slight break, but next year I'm going to organise sort of more events and more things to push it out because I've only been tapping into my own area. The book has to go further afield, and it's you'll never know exactly how good you're doing on people reading it because you can't ring them up and ask them. But things that
Yeah.
I do locally and that it's just been amazing. I mean, I actually had a lady who was at the launch and she read my book and she wanted me to meet me for coffee twice, and I've actually helped her turn her life around a bit because of giving her advice on what things worked for me. And I mean, you can't put a price on that.
No, absolutely not. And the thing is people showed up for you. Now you show up for others, and that's what it's all about. Is about being that inspiration. And now you get the opportunity to do that for others as well. Your story is very, very powerful. Do you want to share a little bit with our viewers so that they get a little teeny insight, not very much, but just a little bit, so that they it intrigues them to buy your book?
Well, basically, I'm from a big family of 11, and my trauma would have really started from 12 years of age when my eldest boy in our family was suddenly killed on Christmas Day. Christmases were very special in our household, and by the fact that he died on Christmas Day impacted everybody so much. I was only 12 years of age, and
Hmm.
little did I know that that was going to have an impact in my life right through my life. Like a silent killer lying there, ready to
Hmm.
pounce on me. It was working and working and working away. And I thought life was normal, but it wasn't. And when I look back now, I can, I mean, things that I've done, I can understand why I done them like that, simply
Hmm.
because I was suffering from trauma. Um, and then obviously with my work, I was involved in trauma as well, and that was a turning point. But I found in them days in the 80s, you didn't get much help with mental health. It was a stigma sort of a thing, and people would have said to you, just get on to your work, there's nothing wrong with you. Um,
Hmm.
and you know, to have that impact so young at 12 years of age, and then when my brother, who he was 21 years of age when he was killed, when I hit 21 years of age, it really hit me hard because it let me see just how young he really was. And
Yeah.
so it was like starting it again.
Hmm.
And then
And
obviously,
in such a big family, in such a big family, you're not getting that one-on-one support, and especially in you're growing up in Northern Ireland, so much is happening around everyone. The trauma of it all rippling through the community and your family, and as a 12-year-old boy, you're expected to just get on with it and grow through it and be resilient but to stop it, it has an impact, you know.
there, there's no doubt. I mean, I find that over the years and through my own experiences of things going wrong, I don't want to give real fine detail of the book because it spoils
Yeah,
the
yeah,
story,
please
but
don't.
um, I do feel that my own experience, and I've done it myself. And I think what's key is doing it without medication. It's about taking on your strengths that you were told to use. And here I am today, still doing my strengths. I'm a professional artist, and it's my to me that's my therapy. And then to bring that into communities and work with communities to help them out as well. I've been very very lucky, Karen. I mean, I feel in the last 32 years I've really never done a day's work because I wake up in the morning and I just feel the same. And weekends mean nothing to me because every day is the same for me because I know I'm helping people. And I'm just so lucky to be in that position. Whereas that, you know, it's took hard work to get there, but I believe in
Absolutely.
myself, and I use the power of therapy art. And it's amazing. I can tell a wee quick story. I had a hip replacement about 4 years ago, and I was out on a day and a half. And the surgeon said to me, only 5% of people get out so quick. And he says, "You don't mind me asking, what do you work at?" And I said, "I work with therapy art. I work with therapy art." And he says, "Well, that explains it." And I said, "What do you mean that explains it?" He says, "Your mind's in a good place, and if your mind's in a good place, you recover quicker from injury."
Yeah,
and it's so true. It's so true.
yeah. It's healing, isn't it? It's just healing. And I, I can see, and from our conversation and from knowing you, that you are really, you bask in gratitude, and you're really grateful for where you are, and what the life you get to experience. But you also prioritize joy, and joy is one of the, you understand that it's important for you to feel joy so that others around you benefit from that.
Oh, there's no doubt, and I'm a believer that I don't. I'm a happy person, and I've had times of sadness, and it's behind me now. And I wake up in the morning and I feel grateful. But at the same time, it's important, I feel, with mental health, to embrace yourself around people who are good for you, and that you don't have negativity. And resilience is something that you build up, I think, and learning to deal with things better. But in
Yeah.
saying that, I do feel that with mental health, Karen, you will never be cured of it, but I feel that you learn to live with it.
Mm, absolutely, absolutely. Trevor, do you have any advice to anyone who is feeling the call to share their story?
Well, I ended my book actually in the words "It's good to talk," and I used to laugh at the BT ad when it used to come out in Northern Ireland about how good it was to talk. It's so true. I mean,
Yeah.
no matter how small the worry may be, talk and discuss it with somebody. And the more you're able to talk, I feel that you're a better person. There's less pressure on your shoulders, and I just feel that talking is very, very key. I mean, I've taught so many friends to talk, and maybe that's why I chat so much, simply because I've taught myself to talk so much because it's so good for me.
It is,
You
isn't it? A
know,
problem shared is a problem halved, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What is it? And to think that you are now a published author, and I believe that there's another book brewing. Do you want to share a little about that?
Well, it's funny. I never ever thought I would think of another book. I think the next one, because I'm an artist as well, I'm seriously thinking of doing my own artwork for it.
Hmm.
And it's a fictional book. Um,
Hmm.
there's a, it's sort of based back to when I was growing up too. There was a place that we used to go and play, and it was so spooky and scary. And I just this thing come to me. Just I was chatting to Emma actually the night of the launch. When I was talking to Emma after the launch, I said, "You never guessed, Emma, but I'm actually having thoughts this last few days of this story that I have in my head. It's just come to me. This
Yeah.
thing has just come to me. So I'm going to take time, structure it out, test drawings, do wee things, and it'll be sort of me growing up with me mates playing, but obviously different names and stuff. But it's exciting. I mean, I never thought
You've
I
caught
would
the
think.
writing bug, Trevor. That's what's happened.
Yeah,
It
and
happened.
poetry as well.
Yeah.
Poetry as well. Them poems in the book, they just come to me. I couldn't
Yeah.
believe it. They just come to me.
It's because you're open to it, and you're a really good poet actually. So it's like, so wait, that is going to call more. So be sure to have a pen and paper close by, because once that starts flowing, and we actually have Emma with us. So Emma says she's so proud. There we go. See, we get her on the screen with
Hi,
us because I
Emma.
know that Emma's been a big part of your journey, and
That's what I meant
a
to.
big
Yeah, yeah.
support. Yeah, it was Emma that introduced us, and then we were able to go on the journey to get this book out into the world. And I am so delighted it's being embraced in your community, and it's going to go far and wide. And it's so much more than a book; it's a whole, you know, it's a whole story around it, that
Hmm.
can, and the speaking that you're doing and everything is just so vitally important to get that happening, that tangent happening of people being more open to share their stories, because there's so much healing in that.
Yeah, I just feel it's natural now. I mean, I've had a few people, women's groups and stuff, have asked me, "Would you like to do talk with us?" And I just feel it's my calling to do this. Um,
Yeah.
and yet I'm carrying on with what I'm doing day to day anyway. But
Yeah.
it's just natural to do it now. And whereas I feel if, as I said, if I hadn't went into mental health work, I probably would never have come to this. I still would be carrying the story around my head.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, you that's the thing is you whenever you answer the call, you have the courage to answer it. You get rewarded, don't you? And you feel lighter now because of it. It's amazing. We have Kez Wickham St George, who is a fellow MMH Press author, and her third book with us is coming out at the end of this month. And she says, I have to agree, the power of the word is healing. And
Yeah.
Kez is actually a reviewer, and she actually has your book at the moment. So there you go.
Oh, good, good.
There we go.
It is. It's
So,
funny. No, I was just going to say, Karen, it's funny with whenever I read the book and got it all down, and there was this sort of thing come over me. Go, what is people going to think? And then I thought to myself, it's about me. It's about me trying to
yeah,
help people. This is my story. It's nobody else's story. And that's sort of what I hung on to, and I've got encouragement from that. You know.
yeah. Yeah, and don't you get rewarded? Like, there's nothing that you regret about sharing your story. Uh, there's always reservations and inhibitions when you start to explore it, and then you deal with that and you go, do you know what? I understand that, and I'm just going to do this anyway because I feel that this is something I should do in my life, share my story, and for others to benefit. And when you do it with those types of really honest, true integrity intentions, only good things can come from that. And people will rally around you and support that as well.
Well, I agree with that. I mean, I'm very proud of what I've done. It's took 32, 33 years to make this happen, and I just feel that it was meant to happen, and I can stand tall. And if my story helps one person, which I already know it has,
Yeah,
it's so worth it. I mean,
absolutely.
I can only refer back to when I had my problems. I had no help, and it's just so nice that I can share my story to help others.
Yeah, it's a story to be read, everyone. Trevor, where you are showing up for speaking next week at an event? Where's that?
Well, I play tennis, so it's a tennis club, and they're
Yeah.
doing a tournament for Inspire Mental Health to support me, and I'm doing a
Yeah,
book launch just before the event,
perfect.
and the proceeds then are going to mental health. And Emma's going to be doing a wee talk just for 10 minutes, and they all know me anyway. There's about 150 members, um, but they just thought it was nice to embrace mental health
Hmm.
with an author, which they're so pleased to see in their own club. Um,
Yeah.
and they just thought it was lovely to tie the two together. So I'm very honoured that they took it on that way.
It's amazing. It is amazing. And it's the first of many in your tour of getting around the country and letting people know. But thank you so much for showing up here for the interview with
Hmm.
me on our
Lovely.
page because um everyone will get to see it. It'll be on YouTube as well. And we'll share you out into the Australian reader community as well. But Trevor Verner, thank you so much for joining me today. And everyone, please go and grab your copy of The Shadow on My Shoulder. I promise you won't be disappointed.
And thank you, Emma, or thank you, Karen and Emma, if you're listening. I'll be chatting to you soon. And Karen, I'll be chatting to you soon again anyway, because I'll probably order more books now in the new year. But I'll keep in
Isn't that
touch.
amazing?
It's nice to know that you're
Always.
there and for
Yeah.
support. So it's brilliant. A matter of fact, I've actually spoke to somebody recently who's thinking on a book, and I've highly recommended you. So um,
There you go.
it's
I
yeah.
I love being part of your journey, Trevor. It's an honor to be, to help you get this story out into the world. And you've launched 2 weeks ago. It's still getting wings and learning to fly. So it will go, far and wide from here. So enjoy the journey, keep enjoying the journey and inspiring people like you're doing. You're a real credit.
Thank you, Karen, and I really appreciate it. And I know you're there when I need to drop you a line. Hope I didn't annoy you too
Absolutely.
much, Karen. It
Ah.
was just nerves coming up to it.
When you can catch me, Trevor, I'm there, honestly.
Yeah.
The time frame, our time zones. But huge kudos to you with getting this book out into the world. It was a team effort from us all,
Yeah,
and
it was.
congratulations. And watch
Th-
out, world, and get your copy.
Thank you,
Bye,
Karen.
everyone.
Okay, bye.